spiritual significance of flowers by our Divine Mother, along with the messages of the spiritual significance both by our Divine Mother and our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Page 238, topic Psychological Perfection. Psychological perfection. There is not one psychological perfection, but five, like the five petals of the flower: sincerity, faith, devotion, aspiration, and surrender. Botanical name Plumeria rubra, color white with yellow. Psychological perfection on the way to fulfillment. The state of those who take up the yoga seriously. Botanical name Plumeria rubra, color deep rose to purplish red. Psychological perfection in matter. The first step towards transformation. Botanical name Plumeria rubra, forma tricolor, color white with rose pink. The psychic. Our Divine Mother says, in order to strengthen the contact with the conscious psychic personality and, if possible, to aid its development, one should, while concentrating, turn towards it, aspire to know it and feel it, open oneself to receive its influence, and take great care each time that one receives an indication from it, to follow it very scrupulously and sincerely. To live in a great aspiration, to take care, to become inwardly calm and remain so always as far as possible, to cultivate a perfect sincerity in all the activities of one's being. These are the essential conditions for the growth of the psychic being, says our Divine Mother. Integral psychological perfection, one of the conditions indispensable for transformation. Botanical name Plumeria obtusa, color white. Perfect psychological perfection. Psychological perfection in all the parts of the being. Botanical name Plumeria obtusa, color white. Perfect radiating psychology can only be obtained by acquiring the divine vision. Botanical name Conmarfa fragrance, color cream white. Supramental psychological perfection, a psychological perfection aspiring to be divinized. Botanical name Michaela Chempa, color cream yellow to golden orange. Next topic, the mind. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, the mind in the ordinary use of the word covers indiscriminately the whole consciousness, for man is a mental being and mentalizes everything. But in the language of this yoga, the words mind and mental are used to connote specially the parts of the nature which has to do with cognition and intelligence, with ideas, with mental or thought perceptions, the reactions of thought to things, with the truly mental movements and formations, mental vision and will, etc., that are part of his intelligence, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo continues to say the mind power is divided into three parts: thinking mind, dynamic mind, externalizing mind. The former concerned with ideas and knowledge in their own right, the second with the putting out of mental forces for realization of the idea, the third with the expression of them in life, not only by speech but by any form it can give. Mind, its true value depends on its surrender to the divine. Botanical name Tivitia puruviana, color yellow. Purified mind, mind ready to surrender to the divine. Botanical name Tivitia peruviana alba, color wine. Reason. Our Divine Mother says the first thing that should be taught to every human being as soon as he is able to think is that he must obey reason, which is a super instinct of the species. Reason is the master of the nature of the human species. You must obey reason and absolutely refuse to be the slave of instincts. And here I am not talking to you about yoga. I am not talking to you about spiritual life. Not at all. It has nothing to do with that. It is the basic wisdom of human life, purely human life. Every human being who obeys anything other than reason is a kind of brute lower than the animal. That's all. And this should be taught everywhere. It is the basic education which should be given to the children. The reign of reason should come to an end only with the advent of psychic law, which manifests the divine will, says our Divine Mother. Reason, an excellent instrument when it is at the service of the divine. Botanical name Artabotus hexapetalis, color yellow. Clear mind. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, ordinarily the mind reflects the status of mortal nature and the activities of the force which works under the conditions of the material universe. But if it becomes clear, passive, pure, by the renunciation of these activities and of the characteristic ideas and outlook of mental nature, then, as in a clear mirror or like the sky in clear water, which is without ripple and untruffled by winds, the divine is reflected, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Clear mind, the first step on the way to conversion. Botanical name Artabotrys hexapetalis, color greenish yellow. Attentive mind. The mind attains its full utility when it knows how to listen to the higher inspiration. Botanical name Cassia, color yellow.